Courtney is on assignment. The SunRunner service between downtown St. Pete and the beach was supposed to stay free until November 1st.
But now a $2.50 fare will go into effect a month earlier than planned. It's a move that comes down to concerns over crime at one popular stop.
Waiting until November 1st isn't an answer, and my question for you all is where do I send the bill for the $10,000 a week?
Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Galtieri spoke out at the Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority board meeting today, saying something needs to change. In the last month, he says he's had to have deputies patrol the SunRunner St. Pete Beach access stop after receiving multiple complaints about homeless people using the free transportation service.
It's not the general homeless. This is the chronic homeless, and oftentimes very criminal-involved homeless. And so when the word got out in that community, that's when they started hopping on the free ride.
He says the department has arrested more than 24 people, mostly for nonviolent crimes like panhandling and sleeping on the beach. So in an effort to address the issue, today PSTA discussed adding a 50-cent charge for some routes until the full fare goes into effect later this year. But board members and the CEO of the Homeless Leadership Alliance worried it could unfairly target people.
When you talk about doing something that's going to affect people, you have to affect people across the board, not just one way, not just St. Pete Beach, not just there. It's across the board. And that's the only way to be fair.
You know, I'm not a fan of any increases right now, especially when we are in a very challenging economic time. However, making the increase fair and across the board is definitely what we would expect, and being equitable for all and not just focusing on a homeless population, which this clearly was.
Ultimately struck down that proposal and instead went for one that pushes up the start date of the full fare charge from November to October. Sheriff Bob Galtieri says he will give a report 30 days after the SunRunner starts charging to see if the fares have helped decrease the number of arrests.